So his chick says, she goes, you know that Wayne's fascinated with peeing in the shower.
Well, it's not fascinating. It's just something I've done for, all my life. From the time I'll hold it to pee in the shower.
Your girl's okay with this.
Romantic moments with Big Wayne.
Okay.
Do tell. So
and here's the other part that he said to her. That he said to her today, and I quote because I wrote this down. Mm-hmm. Wayne said to his girl, and carpenter / chemical Chris, when you're taking a shower, does the bar of soap ever accidentally slip in your ass?
So what the hell? And slip how in your ass?
How would a bar of soap slip into your ass?
What are you doing with it?
Well, you know like how the bar of soap gets smaller gradually as you use it, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to say like when it was halfway done one day, I'm back there soaping up my ass. So I kind of felt that the bar of soap kind of broke, my anus and went in. So Danny's so I started saying to myself, I wonder, kind of what it feels like, and if you could do a bar of soap.
You could.
Oh, yes, you can.
So you crammed a bar of soap in your ass.
Well, to see if it would work. Yeah, because it's so soapy, it's so lubricated. It was like blip, blip. It went in and out, no problem.
Dude, what if it got caught up there?
Can I say, we've been doing this show 40 some odd times with Wayne, and everyone, I sit on the other side of this board horrified.
And he's my good friend. We vacation.
I've known this motherfucker for 12, 14 years, and every time we're together, he horrifies me with some kind of new shit. Like, no, I haven't.
Hold on. I think you got some more that I'm waiting for you to drop on me right now, because this next one is a tough one. If you
let's go back to the...
Could we go back to the peeing in the shower, please, for a second?
All right, so even how I have this phobia of one day that I'm going to go to jail.
What do you mean phobia?
That I'm going to get arrested and I'm going to go to jail. Yeah, and my fear is that I will get my ass kicked because you don't pee in the shower. And I don't, it's like as soon as I get underneath the water, it's like, psh, I turn on. I'm not going to stop, but I'm going to get my ass kicked.
So wait, so back to the peeing in the shower. Your girl is okay with that. She gets in the shower right after you when you've just let one loose.
Well, I am together. I mean, we've already been in the shower together at the same time. I'm sure I even peed with her in the shower. It's not like I'm whipping it out, pissing on her leg.
Am I alone in this, Lazlow?
No, you're not.
All right.
You don't piss in the shower?
Not like that.
But do you pee in the shower?
I have before in my life, but it's not a regular thing.
It's not every time every time as soon as that water hits me, I'm going.
All right.
You?
No.
How about when you get in the ocean? You get in the ocean, you going?
Well, after a while, if I need to go, if I've been surfing for a long time, but it sounds like you've got some kind of fetish.
Yeah, I do. Did Chris tell you about the other part?
Well, Chris, after he revealed to people that he was sticking the soap in the bathroom up his asshole, Chris said, I'm never washing my hands at your house again.
That's all I told you.
Yeah.
Did you get a whole bar up there?
Yes, the whole bar easily went. It wasn't like a brand new bar, if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
The rough corners were kind of rounded off, if you know what I'm saying, how soap wears.
You have to stretch it out a little bit.
So.
But the thing is, you get it caught up there, and then you're fucked, because I had a friend who used to work, he was an emergency room doctor, and he says, like, the number one thing that people would come in there for in the emergency room was they got things crammed up their ass. A light bulb, crazy household objects. And
this is a rumor, though.
No,
you hear this?
No. This is absolutely true. Check it out. This is absolutely true, because he said they all had the same excuse too about how it got up there. I fell and a light bulb went up my ass. But he said he got the light bulb up there so many times that you can't just pull a light bulb out of somebody's ass, because it could splinter and they could die, with the internal bleeding. So he said they had to figure out a way to do it, and the way they do it was they screwed off the end of the light bulb, they filled it up with like quick dry glue so it hardened completely in the light bulb, and then they just popped it right out.
It's interesting conversations you have with your weird friends.
Dude, he's an emergency room doctor. They see the best shit.
What was the other thing?
I gotta say, what was my other thing?
That you thought that...
There was a day I was in the shower and I thought I just had a fart.
No! Okay, yeah. Yeah, I did hear this on the beach today.
All right, Danny's got something up there.
That's a cell phone.
Yes!
It's an x-ray of a cell phone in a man's ass.
See? I'm telling you, dude.
Fell on it.
Yeah, that's what they always said, was I tripped and fell and I landed on a cell phone and it went in my ass.
6 inches in my ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you though, I have a relative that used to be an emergency room nurse. And she had the greatest. I mean, when I got older, she was actually doing this when I was a young kid, but when I got older, she was the entertainment at every family function with her stories. And my favorite one was a girl came in and had really bad cramping. And so they got her up there. They took
Is this
X-rays.
the can of tuna up the pussy?
No, this was
I've heard that one.
Strawberries. And they were up there so long, they actually had turned into maggots.
No, come on.
I've heard of this. That's bullshit too. Because I heard it was a can of tuna.
Well, I'm pretty sure these nurses.
Who puts a can of tuna in their pussy?
Dude, who gets shit on for fun? I don't do that.
Germans, I think is the answer. No, I believe strawberries. Because, people mess around with food. Things get lost up there.
So I think where I was at was I had a new experience, and I was in the bathroom one day. I thought it was a shot. You know what that is, right? Little kind of wet fart. I was just going to let it go. It turned out it was a real crap, So literally, poof, on the shower floor. Hold on, Danny. I thought it was going to be loose and kind of go down with the water. No, it became like instant concrete hardened. So now I had to shoo it to the drain. And when I say shoo it, I mean I used my foot and kind of mashed it into the fucking drain for it to go down. That one my wife was not happy about, Danny.
You told her.
Yeah, why do you tell?
Why are you telling her? How do you bring that up?
Because I think it's fucking comedy, But hold on. So everyone I've asked said they've never shit in the shower.
No.
I had one guy last night said he shit in the shower. So I'm not the only one.
You mean by accident or like it's a fetish?
He said the same thing. It was a shot, and then he was like, realized he had to go. He's like, I'll just fucking let it hammer here.
There was a letter to a sex column a couple years ago that I remember, and that was exactly what the guy was saying. Was he developed a fetish where he would shit in the shower, he would push it over to the drain, and then his fetish was he liked to squeeze it in between his toes as he crammed it down the drain.
That was a little disgusting. I was gagging at that point. You know what I'm saying?
But what?
866-969-1969 is the phone number. 866-969-1969 if you've pooped in the shower. I always come in with lots of notes for interesting things we can talk about. Sarah Palin, Michael Jackson, and it turns into squeezing shit between your toes into the shower drain.